in the Russia collusion investigation and the impact on the president's inner circle. Jared Kushner delivering documents to investigators. The Attorney General Jeff Sessions' credibility called into question once again after new revelations over what he knew about contacts with Russia and even new claims about the president's actions during a campaign meeting where the Russia issue popped up. Asked about that meeting today, here's the president's response.
I don't remember much about that meeting. It's a very unimportant meeting. Took place a long time. Don't remember much about it.
Do you stand by your claim that the campaign never talked to anybody from Russia? Do you stand by that claim?
All I can tell you is this. There was no collusion. There was no nothing. It's a disgrace, frankly, that they continue.
The White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said the same thing basically yesterday, that the president didn't remember the meeting. Surprising given the president's boast about his memory even just last week. Listen.
There's no hesitation. One of the great memories of all time. There was no hesitation.
The president may not remember the meeting, but now we know from another foreign policy advisor at the table who says the president, quote, heard him out when George Papadopoulos suggested a face-to-face meeting between the then candidate Donald Trump and Russian officials. Our Justice correspondent Jessica Schneider is joining us right now. Let's start, Jessica, with Jared Kushner. What more do we know about the documents he turned over and what investigators are hoping to learn?
Well, Jared Kushner has voluntarily handed over documents that he had from the campaign, also the transition, in addition to anything he had related to contacts with Russia, all to the special counsel's office. Now, this document production, it's coming at the same time, sources tell us, investigators have begun asking other witnesses about Kushner's role in the firing of FBI Director James Comey in May. Now, Kushner has said that he was in favor of the decision but didn't press it, while other multiple sources tell a bit of a different story, and they say Kushner was actually the driver of that decision. But either way, this cooperation now, handing over documents by Kushner, this is just another example of Mueller's team reaching into the president's inner circle and continuing that probe into the obstruction of justice issue.
Jeff Sessions clearly now in the hot seat once again. Former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page testified in front of the House Intelligence Committee yesterday. What did he say about his Russia contacts and what Sessions knew?
Well, Carter Page now disclosing that he told Jeff Sessions that he was traveling to Russia at the height of the campaign. He says he informed Sessions about that trip during a group dinner in Washington in 2016, while Sessions was a top campaign surrogate and leading the campaign's national security team. Now, this is what Carter Page said behind closed doors to the House Intelligence Committee yesterday. He said, back in June 2016, I mentioned in passing that I happened to be planning to give a speech at a university in Moscow. He continued saying, understandably, it was as irrelevant then as it is now. So Page downplaying that brief discussion. But really, Democrats on the Hill say Sessions' omission of this mention is problematic. Here's the line of questioning from June.
Are you aware of any communications with any Trump officials, or did you have any communications with any officials about Russia or Russian interests in the United States before January 20th?
No.
And that was a similar answer that Sessions gave at multiple hearings, including one back in October. And then, of course, there was that meeting in March 2016 where George Papadopoulos sat just feet from Donald Trump and then Senator Jeff Sessions. And Papadopoulos at the time said he wanted to set up a meeting with campaign officials and Putin, even with Trump himself. Now, we're hearing from campaign advisor J.D. Gordon. He was in that meeting as well. He put it this way, saying that at the time, Donald Trump heard him out. So we also know that at the same time, Jeff Sessions, he did dismiss any possibility of a meeting with Putin. But again, the problem here being Sessions never disclosed those details despite repeated questioning from lawmakers over the past year. Now they want answers. Wolf?
Yes, they do. Jessica Schneider reporting for us. Jessica, thanks very much. With